Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. I'm the Ravenous Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last, we left off with our Anarchs. We opened up with them having recovered and fed and waking up the evening of Halloween. We found out that several of the Kindred that had disappeared resurfaced all of a sudden, among them, Samantha Crushing. They also heard that someone on the Primogen Council is responsible for the hunters being in Salem. They heard that historic downtown was sealed off for a block party thanks to the new owners of the theater, the Zhao Long Group. They heard that Otis King has declared Salem Town a safe haven for Kindred, that he wants to show that strength requires more than just putting enemies into torpor in front of other people. Erickson woke up first and went looking for a payphone. Saw him call up the Albatross looking for Sam, and was handed over to Marcus Bradley. Was told that she'd be prepared for them sometime after 10. Learned that Mickey Blue hasn't resurfaced yet, and ended up calling his sire, Elizabeth Barrister, for some help. He heard a male answer the phone, slight British accent, and had to wait a couple of minutes to talk to her. But he ended up asking her about her status, and he learned that she's thrown her hat in with Otis. She confirmed that one of his coterie took out Elizabeth Guernsey, so she's hoping that they can bring about the change in the city the right way. He told her that she could find him at the Albatross if she needed him, and then she revealed to him that Grant Reynolds has a new associate in the city because of what happened to Guernsey, who calls himself or themselves the Plague Doctor. People are torn between it being a Malkavian or a Tremere who wears a traditional Plague Doctor garb. But she told him that she thinks he's here to find out who killed Givens. She also told him that she heard that his associate, Andreas Barker, was the one that killed Givens, so to keep an eye on him. Erickson was a little bit furious about that, even mentioned that he wasn't even mentioned in the whole situation with Givens, and after the phone call, he ended up tearing the phone out of the ground and vaulting it onto the roof of a nearby building. Andreas woke up and joined our Bruja. They shared the information that he had learned about the Plague Doctor, about Otis, about the whole thing. And they learned that they were in North Salem for the night. They talked to Shepard about where they were going to be parking closer to sunrise. And he had mentioned that he found a couple places in Southeast Salem that he hasn't touched yet. Discuss their choice of preparedness before heading out to the Albatross, what guns to take and what guns to leave behind. And they have heard also about the new religious spot that has become the Marion County Jail after people have declared seeing Christ on the cross and other miracles that may or may not have been the work of our Ravnos. They were shown to the secret basement in the electrical room. Once they got to the Albatross, they saw that Samantha Crushing was down there in worse shape than they've ever seen her before, but she is currently trying to heal herself from all of the torture that she was put through. She explained what happened to her as best as possible. She explained that she was torpored and that she was lucky enough to have her eyes open so she could see as much of what was going on as possible. And on the way out, thanks to Connie and her sire, she managed to put as many people as she could in the ground, but she did manage to miss some of the more important people, including somebody that was called Domenico and a nun that was always with him. She did mention that they had been given a list of weak vampires, quote unquote, to try and hunt in the city. She also mentioned that there was a bunch of Caitiff that were in there with them. A lot of them must have been from the mass embrace that Reynolds and Guernsey tried to make to assault the city. And she did mention that one of them believes to have been embraced by Guernsey herself. And so she was hoping to throw her lot in to kind of vouch for him at the Elysium. She mentioned that Domenico was about 5'7", with short black hair, and that he had one blue eye and one brown eye. He was clean shaven with an average build. The nun that got away, She thought she saw brown streaks of hair, brown eyes, and a heart-shaped face. And then she offered up a list of weapons and or ammo contacts to them should they desire to keep the business going. But she did mention that she was going to take her side of the money and start helping out at the Albatross instead, and just getting out of the whole ordeal that she was in before. There was a red bulb that turned on to announce that somebody had come in. Marcus excused himself and came back down a few minutes later with, of all people, Toreador Primogen, Wesley Ian Garter, who introduced himself to the group. They heard him mention that there is an Elysium tomorrow, November 1st. They heard the conversation with Samantha about why he would protect any of the Caitiff. Sam tried to go to bat for Guernsey's Chowder, described him as a weathered and haggard, and how he could be used to the city because of his Lasarma powers. And mentioned that she saw him kind of making his way to the Silver Spur the last time when she broke out. But Andreas told Marcus to let any of the free souls know if something changes so they can find out about it, as that is now the new lifeline to the group. And as they walked out, they noticed that someone was watching them. Andreas saw him pull out a notepad, write something down, and then followed the man to a payphone across the street where he heard him report that they had just left, and he gave somebody the license plate number of the Barracuda they stole, and heard him say he was going to head over to wherever he was calling. They got into a chase as they saw the guy drive past them. Erickson slammed into the rear of the guy's car, forcing him into a busy intersection and killing him in the process. They took his stuff from his pockets, found the clergy vestment in the trunk with the beautiful embroidered cross on it. Andreas ended up taking the pocket Bible/notebook that the guy had. And he tried to make his way back to salvage the weapons, but he noticed that a group of people dressed in blue jumpsuits were already clearing the people of the scene and the items from the cars. He also noticed that they had taken this guy, whoever was keeping tabs on them, had taken meticulous notes on the two of them, going back a while. They saw a description of what had to be Shepherd with the word slave ? Attached to it. They also saw a description of what must have been Mustang with the word left ? Saw that there were addresses for all the bars that they've been to, connotations to who they might have met with, and saw that his name was Isaiah Malcolm Downs. They saw a message in the back flap of the book. To Brother Malcolm, please enjoy this and let the words of our Father guide you. And it was signed Father M. Yarovich. We left off with both of them a couple of blocks down from the crash site, looking over the spoils that they grabbed from their little spy. And so this is where we're going to find the two of them. Hello, boys. Good to see you again.
Hello.
So you've got the rest of the night. It's almost midnight. You can continue down this rabbit hole, or we can jump to the Elysium. It's your choice. The night is young.
Oh,
Right now, I feel like those two robbers at the beginning of Batman, like the Tim Burton one, just on the roof counting the money. So,
right?
Yep. I mean, as far as the information, everything that was written inside that little mini Bible.
Yeah, these are extensive notes on us.
Extensive notes on us specifically,
Yep.
as well as with some on Mustang and some on Shepherd.
Yep.
So
there are a couple of question marks as to who burnt down the last call, but it's clearly not whoever he was working with.
No. This is this is a different group. Whoever did that for sure.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
By the way, on the Bible itself, does it have? I know that I imagine it's a King James Bible or whatever kind of Bible it is, but does it have a name from where maybe it has the name of the parish or the church that it's from?
It does not. It looks like that was ripped out from the book itself. There's a couple pages that have been ripped out from the book. Some in the front, some in the Old Testament, some in the New Testament.
Okay, and what was ripped out? I would that I've before my turn, I didn't obviously I had to fake reading the Bible, so I know Revelations. Is it still there?
No, the whole Revelations chapter is gone.
All right, so obviously these are looking at Andres. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Whoever tore that out, they're obviously using it for something, and it's not. Yeah, these sound like extremists for
Yeah.
sure.
What kind of monster tears out the end of a book in the first place?
Well, I don't know, but considering he still he carried it around with him. I mean, do when you by any chance, Andres, when you looked at the vestige, the actual, because I wasn't gonna get anywhere near that outfit, that robe.
That's
Did
all.
it
That's
have
all
any
the book
name of
was
the
on
parish on
the
there?
cross.
Mm.
Will, do I need to roll to see if I remembered anything, or if I knew, or I
Did you
noticed any more?
did you take the vestments or did you leave them there?
I don't think we took the vestments themselves. I know I took the cross or
Okay.
the
Yeah,
rosary thing he had.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought that you did take the vestments because it was one of your like, if anything, I'll prank him with this kind of mentality.
Oh, right. Yes, it is.
You did actually do that. You're right, because
Uh,
he was. Remember, he's gonna save the best for last. Apparently.
yeah.
Well, also on top of that, if we end up in just the kooky '80s cop movie situation where we have to sneak into the evil cult, this is that.
Yeah.
This is the rope to get us in there.
You've got the uniform.
Hmm. Okay, so then examining that shit, any marks where it might have come from, any like diocese, how to wash tag,
It
boil it in holy water.
it does have a an embroidered actually in the inner layer of the right sleeve, about halfway up the forearm. There's a little embroidery of just the word Roanoke.
Okay, that
All right,
boils it down.
we're going straight into early American lore. Alrighty.
That boils it down. How there is Roanoke in Oregon, correct?
I don't think there is a Roanoke in Oregon.
No. Okay.
This is just referring to the colony that disappeared, like
Right.
near Jamestown.
Yeah,
Right. I'm just making sure that I'm just making sure that this is not a city, or
yeah,
like it's
no.
the name of the parish. So
No, there's a Roanoke in Virginia.
okay.
Mhm. That's supposedly around that area where the group disappeared.
Right.
Okay, well, that's all
And when did?
nowhere near where we are. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, never mind. So okay. Well, I mean, with this information now, they have to, he has to he has to be coming from either. He was trying to get to a safe house. He was trying to get somewhere. I know he was going in this direction before his untimely demise. I don't know if maybe
well,
we should.
he said he was. I mean, he was wherever he was calling to. That's where he was headed. But it's just exactly. We don't have Star 69 yet. So and that was a payphone.
Yeah.
And I think we already destroyed the police station. So going there to try and look up phone shit is. We can't afford another Jesus incident.
No, please don't. I don't want to go through that again. Um. Okay. Where we're at in position, are we able to still see the crash site?
Yeah, if you peek out from behind the alley that you're in, you can see that the police have arrived. There's an ambulance on the scene as well. One of the blue jumpsuit guys is talking to one of the police officers. You see them flashing badges at each other. And then the police take the body, put it in the ambulance, and then they drive off. The blue jumpsuits are the ones that are left behind to kind of wait for the tow trucks to come in.
Now, the blue jumpsuits. Is there any insignia that I can see from bro? Because no,
None.
just a blue jumpsuit.
Hmm.
Okay. How many of them are there?
Right now, there's 3 left.
3.
Yeah, there's one
Nobody
directing.
else around?
No, there's one directing traffic, and the other 2 are kind of still by the cars.
How does my outfit look? I don't think I'm covered in blood or anything, am I?
Yeah, you are, because it was Halloween. You didn't care about.
Oh. Oh yeah, it's still Halloween.
I mean,
we can just walk. Do 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 do. We can still walk.
Yeah.
All right. But judging by looking around, I don't see anybody that was there, and as far as a first response or somebody that was at that location, or are there still people that were there when this all started? I just don't want to be no, I don't want to be recognized if I walk over there.
I just feel sheepish that we're asking these kind of questions when this motherfucker had been following us the whole time.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that were there when the crash happened, that are trying to get the blue jumpsuits' attention,
Hmm.
and they're just being ignored, being told to move on.
Okay. Andreas, I mean, I forward this. I pass the ball to you, sir. Because my idea is to wait. Because obviously these blue jumpsuit, uh, they don't look like police. However, they act like they're above the police, or at least the ones that are at least the local beat. So
Hmm.
I would like to know more about these people.
Yeah. What time is it, Will?
It's about to be midnight.
Okay, we got time.
Okay.
Rabbit hole it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to. Well, I would imagine we're gonna wait out until what's to see if there's a point in time that it's just the blue jumpsuits.
No, the second the 2 tow trucks come in, one takes the Dart, one takes the Barracuda, and the one of each of the blue jumpsuits that's left jumps into one each of the tow trucks, and the third one goes into a car and drives with them, like it follows the tow trucks.
So the car with our weapons in it, it's on the tow truck.
Yeah.
Or it's being. Oh, okay, that is on the tow truck. Oh, that's
But
right.
you know that the Barracuda was cleaned out when the blue jumpsuits got there, so.
Okay. You know where my head was going, just
Yep.
like
Yeah.
it's like ice my shit back.
Yeah, so I was like, let me make sure that you understand. Your shit's gone.
Yeah, your shit's gone. All right. I mean, if they're leaving, I want we should just walk back that way. See if damn, I'm trying to think. So they're going to their that's it. That stuff is gone. I don't know. Trying to think where were we going what were we going to do while we were leaving? That's the part that I'm trying to remember. This I got so excited from from this car chase that I totally blanked out on why we chased what was happening before we chased this guy. I believe we wanted to check out the either the church or the actual religious site that just came up now
Like the
that we
jail,
created
that you
a jail.
created.
Yeah. I mean, we could check out the religious site, but I mean that just see what's going on. But no, the church, I figure we haven't been there yet.
St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Yep. But we don't have a ride. God damn it.
I've stopped
All
you
right.
before.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna say. I was like, are there? Will there any cars around? Are there any? What's the cars to ratio to people
Yeah.
ratio? Because
Uh,
if the people ratio is low enough, I'm gonna lower the car ratio by 1.
there are a couple parked cars that you can imagine. People have come to park this far, so they don't have to pay for any of the what's it called, the meters closer to the bar
Mhm.
itself. There's a couple cars that are parked. Nothing fancy. A couple sedans.
A sedan, just as
Yeah. That's the Dan.
inconspicuous sedan.
The
Yeah. The more
the the
the better.
the most sport-like car that you can find is like a Buick Somerset.
That's fine. That'll work.
What it is a Buick, so it's like is it like a boat? Like you know what I mean? Like the size of it?
About yeah, it's a small like 3-person boat. Sure.
Yeah.
Choking.
You
Yeah.
should plan ahead for turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah. I think we'll swipe one of those. I'll roll if I need to.
Nah,
Go ahead.
you've done this before. It's a Buick. This is before car alarm, so
Yeah. I can do the full Kyle Reese from Terminator.
yeah.
The fucking drive shaft out.
And yeah, you take off in your new Buick. It's sky blue.
Oh, great.
The interior is a midnight blue. It's soft plush. There's
Guy really liked blue.
there's the traditional fuzzy dice hanging from the rear view.
I
God.
immediately grab it and throw it out.
Great.
Uh,
We stole Huggy Bear's car.
Yeah. And in the glove compartment, there's just nothing but like used condom wrappers and a couple
thank
of unused
Wrappers.
and a couple of unused
Wrappers.
condoms.
Yeah. I'm checking the floor. Like I'm
Do we
like,
have a black light?
no, I don't want the black light. I just
I mean,
I just don't want a condom sticking to the bottom of my boots. Not a good
no,
look.
no. Just don't check the back seat.
All right, what's in the back seat? No, I'm asking.
Dead hooker.
I'm just saying with the black light, don't check the back seat
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
unless you really like
No.
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah,
Neil
Neil Patrick Harris is back there.
I don't even want to know what's in the trunk.
Doogie.
That's the dead hooker.
Yeah.
That's the dead hook. That's where all this started. So anyway,
Yeah. So where are you heading? To the church?
Yep.
church.
You make your way northbound. Use the Silver Spur as a kind of landmark.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You see that it's got people outside that are some in costumes, some have torn off a good majority of their costume, some don't even have costumes anymore. But it's mostly regulars. It looks like just people who really love the hole in the wall that the Silver Spur is. And as you drive around, you find the church in question. It's a little meek building, barely 2 stories high. The steeple itself has not even like a massive cross to it. The cross itself is maybe 6 or 7 feet tall, is what you imagine from the vantage point at the street.
Take a surreptitious look at Erickson. It seemed to bother him at that distance.
Does it bother me?
I mean, you don't want to look at it, but
No.
yeah, it doesn't send you
Yeah,
running.
he's not leaning into the wind, smooth criminal
Right.
style.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you notice that there's police tape on the doors, and there's police tape on the gate leading to the back where you imagine the rectory is, and it just says, unsafe conditions.
You know what I would do if I wanted to keep people out of my fucking church operation? Make it look like unsafe conditions.
There's a lot of pains taken to make it look like this is a site that's either going to be under construction or that is currently under construction.
Yep. Perfect spot to leave a dead body. All right. So, how far away are we right now? We're about a block away, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Leave
Yeah,
my nice new car.
Yep, a block away.
Yeah.
Is there a back entrance to this place?
There is the church takes up the entire front and rear of a corner lot.
Mm-hmm.
In the back, you see what looks to be a playground. There's a swing set, a jungle gym, one of those like turtle shell jungle gyms. There's a sand pit. There's a slide. Couple like monkey bars here and there of different sizes. And then you can see that there's a building. It has a single light on the front. room has its light on, and then the church itself, it just stands like this dark, looming thing. This massive building outlined by like the lights of the city around it. But it's dark itself.
Jesus is watching.
Yeah. Are there any cats?
Even odds in your favor.
Ooh. You know what? Today's been an odd day, so I'll go odd.
I rolled a 2. There are no cats.
God damn it.
You can hear something scurrying in the bushes, and down the street you can hear a dog bark,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no like cat.
Yeah, I get you. All right. Okay. I mean, I obviously don't want to go in here out in the open,
I'll
so
do it.
I close my eyes.
Oh, you don't have to. I can just disappear.
That I wasn't supposed to be able to see you. I'm still new to this. I'm still getting
Yeah.
used to this.
Yeah, this isn't that fucking Ben Stiller like superhero movie. You don't have to look. You don't have to look away. You can be looking right at me, and I can vanish.
No, this is like this is character me going. I'm still not used to this. Do I close my eyes?
Yeah. I thought you only had the level 2.
Oh, that's right. Do it. So you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Close your eyes.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna do Silence of Death and then Unseen Passage.
Yes, indeedy. Feed the needy.
So roll your 1 die for your rouse check as you pull on the blood.
9.
Nice. So after a moment, Erickson just kind of standing there with his hand over his face.
Yep.
You hear something scurry off in the distance. Andrea sees that it was a raccoon. Maybe the size of like a chihuahua.
Well, that's not too. It's not nothing too freaky.
Yeah. But it smells something and it just darts off.
Mm.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be paying us any mind.
Nope.
Okay. So probably not somebody's animalism kicking in. All right. How high is the fence? Because I mean, obviously, I'd probably want to jump over this thing if possible, and not try to get in or
Yeah.
open any whining, squeaking things if we're gonna sneak up on anything inside.
Okay. The fence is not a chain link fence. It is one of those kind of prison bar fences.
Oh, it's like the shit angled out at you.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
man.
How high?
It's 5 feet tall at the highest point.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like the space between each bar is maybe smaller than a regular adult fist. It looks like it's meant to just keep the kids inside and safe.
yeah, I remember that shit. All right, so I will try and clear that if possible.
Yeah, give me a strength and athletics check.
Here we go.
Here we go. And you're still at hunger 1?
Hunger 2.
Oh,
No,
hunger
I thought it was
2.
hunger 2.
Yeah, you are.
Unless I saw it was 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Gonna play
be
it on us.
two hunger dice and 3 regular dice.
Yep.
5 dice total.
Okay. The hunger dice are 6 and 9 respectively. Nice.
Yeah.
And then 2, 2, and 10.
Okay. So 3 successes easily vaults you over this fence. Erickson, still with his hand on his face, can hear the fence shift.
No one has told me anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for about a minute, and at that point, I'm like, he's either gone or he fell asleep. That's one of the two. So I just want to go like that, and then I.
Once I'm on the other side,
Then,
once I'm on the other side of the fence, I'll say,
So yeah. So you move your hand and you see the remnants of him vaulting the fence. Like you can see it shift back and forth,
okay.
but you don't see him at all.
All right. Um. Hmm. So you said that there was a single light It's coming from one window off the building that's next door to the church or at the church?
Yeah. So there's a building that looks to be a little bit bigger than an efficiency, but a little bit smaller than an actual like apartment. You imagine that there must be like a single bedroom in there, a bathroom, and like a small living area, living space. But the front area, wherever would be the living space, is where the light is on.
Okay. And do I see what could possibly be an entrance up there?
Yeah. There's a door that leads out into what is the yard, the children's playground.
Oh, okay. So this is a house that's connected in this area, like inside the property of where the church is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I'm gonna get out of the car.
Yep.
And I'm gonna get close enough. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait a few minutes to see if I hear anything, any commotion coming from inside the church,
Okay.
from where I believe Erickson, where Andreas is going. But I want to be close enough to this door, at least across the street from where from like if I wanted to do a beeline straight to it and jump over the fence to get to it, I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
And I want to see, since I get closer, if I can see if there's anything else I notice from peering inside there, because that's very convenient that uh that one light is on and everything else is off.
Yeah. What is Andreas doing?
Well, the first thing I want to check out, can I see? Can I get up close to the window where we see the light is on there?
Yeah. You can go in. The bottom half looks to have a little bit of frosting to it, but the top half of the window completely see through. You can see inside. There is a small recliner, a little bit of a counter with a hot plate. It looks like a little mini fridge underneath, the semblance of a hand sink, and it looks like there's an older gentleman reading a book.
Dangerous looking older gentleman. Any weapons around, or just literally just old dude reading a fucking book?
Just an old dude reading a book.
Okay, I'll leave him alone for the moment.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the church. Taking a look at the building. Where's it? Does it look like there's anywhere I could get in easily without disturbing too much? Because if I can keep the guy reading in his chair, I will. I mean, silence of death covers me. But
Yeah. There's double doors at the rear end that you're in right now that look like they lead into the church itself. There looks to be a couple of windows of what you would imagine would lead down to a basement. But as you go up to them, you notice that they're false windows. They actually don't lead to a basement. Like, it looks like they've taken great pains to make it look like there's a basement past the windows, but they're paint, like acrylic paint.
like they were painted over on the inside. Okay, then there is a basement. They're just trying to fucking not let you see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know.
well, I'll take the less rowdy way in. Any of any of the windows higher up that I can see what's going on the first floor?
Not without moving some things around to kind of give you a height. The church has a couple of steps that lead up, and the first floor looks to be raised about 4 or 5 feet above the street level.
Okay. Well, I mean, can't I just hop up there, or is there actually room? Is there actually room on the window sill? Yeah, on the sill between me and the glass, or what's left of the glass?
It would be a rough climb for you if you're just gonna try to like free climb it. There's a couple of broken and weathered holes on the wall that you could kind of use as hand and foot rests. If you want to try that.
I'm looking to bust my ass doing that. Actually, yeah. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna know but you.
Nobody's gonna know but me. And on top of that, I'm like, you know what? I can't do that. Wait, shut up. You're Ravnos. Yes, you can.
Remember that you can rouse to try and give yourself an extra 2 dice if you think your 5 die pool is a little low.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'll stick it out.
Do it. So you roll 1 dice.
Uh-huh. And we got an 8.
Excellent. So you're gonna get 2 more dice for your physical attributes. It's gonna be strength, athletics of 5 plus 2 extra dice. 2 of those are gonna be your hunger dice because you're a hunger 2.
Yep. All right, everybody, pray to God.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah. So okay, for the hunger die, 3 and a 10,
Okay.
and the regular die, Jesus, 4 8s and a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yas.
it is a little rough. It isn't anything you haven't dealt with before. You remember there are tougher climbs back in World War II that you had to deal with than this, and with a little bit of hand holding, the little bit of handholds that you have, the little bit of footholds, footrests, you easily manage to find your way and scamper up to the first window that you can make out. And
It's good because if I fell and busted my ass, he would have actually seen me come out of obfuscate.
Yeah.
boom! Yeah, no, it's fine. No, there are no witnesses. You look inside through the window. Some of it is stained glass, some of it is just clear plate glass, and it looks like all of the pews have been moved to one side. Excuse me. The dais where the what's it called? The podium would be, the kind of altar where you would imagine all the sacraments happen. All of that has been removed. The large Christ on the cross at the back of the church looks like it's been brought down and put at an angle. It's not prominent at all. It definitely looks like there's some kind of construction happening. Like something is going on here. Everything's been moved to one side. Nothing has the kind of pomp and presence that it should have. But you also noticed that the door off to the side at the rear, where you imagine the rectory is, where the priest would change into his vestments or whatnot, has police tape around it, and it also says "Do not enter. Hazardous."
Well, now I'm going in. All right, can I actually get in through this window? Is it broken enough to, or should I try go back and try the doors?
No, it's a full plate glass window.
Okay, so yeah, no. They'll hear me coming in.
So,
All right, so yeah, so I'll hop down, try one of the see how check on the double doors.
Okay. So while you come back around, Erickson has let Andreas run free for about 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
Has not seen him, has not heard him.
That could be either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
But considering it's been about 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and say that since I haven't heard any commotion, I think I have time to check out this little efficiency that just happens to have this, this light on. I'm curious on
Yeah.
what's inside there.
Okay.
So I want to at least get to the door without making much noise. So I'm trying to see with my new handy dandy level 2 feet. I want to try to use fleetness to make sure I don't make any noise while I'm doing this.
Ooh. So you chose fleet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Allows me to move and react with dizzying speed.
Dizzying speed. That doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yeah, I know.
So let's see what fleet actually says as far as the system.
Yeah, it's used to I add to the dice pool for any non-dexterity task, non-combat dexterity tasks.
Mira. Fleetness. It does require a rouse check, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I got a 7 on that one.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna use that so I can at least, because obviously there's a fence
yeah.
that I gotta get over in order to get to this door.
Yeah. So if you're gonna try to vault the fence as quietly as possible, it's gonna need to be a dex and stealth check.
Mhm.
Your dex has now become a 4 with your celerity, which is good because your stealth
Which is
is
good because
0.
I have 0.
But you're
You
also
know.
at hunger 1, so not
Yes.
too terrible.
All right, so 7 on the hunger, an 8, another 7, and a 3.
Okay, 3 successes. You're pretty sure. Excuse me. You're pretty sure you're as quiet as Andreas. You're just like, in your mind, you hear the James Bond theme, and you vault over. There's the slightest, just kind of soft reverberation as the fence, as it just kind of loses your weight, and it just subtly moves back and forth. Andreas can see this as he's coming down off of the wall. And as
Okay, good. So he can see me.
and as
Okay, that's good.
Erickson is making his way towards the little house, little apartment, the light turns off.
Sack of shit. Yeah. Oh, damn. I
Are
don't.
we about to kill an old man? I think we're about to kill an old man.
I see that light turn off, so I immediately when does the light turn off? Right when I get to the door?
No, like you jump down, you look around, and you take maybe 2 or 3 steps past the jungle gym, and the light turns off. So you've still got a good like 30 feet between you and the door. You've got about 50 feet, 60 feet between you and the church itself, the double doors.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and move up to the door, but like what do you call it? Press up against the wall next to the door.
Okay.
Okay, to where the handle is. And before I do that, I want to go ahead and look, and I want to scope from where I'm at vantage point if there's anything that I can see that would tip off anybody looking in my direction.
Unless you were in the rear of the church walking through the back alley, no one can really see what's going on over here. The gate that leads into this part of the church from the side, like I said, is plastered in police tape, so it kind of creates a little yellow barrier for you.
A deterrent, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so it's unless somebody's walking by you, they're not gonna see you.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the door. I'm gonna grab the knob of the door, and I want to turn it slowly to see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
Sons of bitches! This is a trap. That's... Oh. But I'm gonna roll real quick.
Yeah. What are you rolling?
I'm rolling to see whether or not I'm opening that door, and I am. So, go ahead.
Okay. So Andreas sees him go over to the door like a spy in a movie, presses himself up against the wall, slowly slithers his hand down towards the handle. Oh yeah. I'm full. To me, you're full on Kronk right now. Like you've got the theme song going.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Was just like having the Yzma look of just like Kronk when he's talking to like the angel and the devil, and just
Yeah.
I'm not built for stealth, but I'm trying. So
I'm trying not to laugh, but okay. So I'm gonna
now we know what something else you can put your points into.
Yeah. There you go. I could put that 1 point into stealth.
It comes in handy. All right, I'm still sneaking over, but I will. I'll head over see what the fuck he's doing.
Okay, and you see his hand just slither down to the knob, and it slowly starts to turn it. there's a moment where he just stops and he kind of looks down at himself, and then he looks up, and then you can just see that sigh of like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and he just finishes the revolution and then just starts to slowly open the door.
Right, but I'm not going in.
Okay,
I just want to open the door
sure. How far do you want to open it?
enough where I could slide in. Because
Okay.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. You slowly open it. There's no creak.
no creaking.
There's no
Oh, that's not
creaking.
good either.
There's
That's not good
no
either.
there's no whine to the hinges at all.
Oh man, this is a new door. This is not good.
And you just see that there is this recliner sitting across from what looks to be a little hand sink, a little counter with a hot plate and a mini fridge underneath it. There's a book on the seat of the recliner itself, and then there's what looks to be just this couple of cloth curtains that separate the front room from the rear room, where you imagine must be a bedroom.
Mm.
And you can just hear some shuffling going on back there
Where do I hear the shuffling from?
behind
behind those curtains.
behind the curtains.
Okay. Um, how far is that distance from the curtain to where I'm at?
Maybe at best 6 feet, 8 feet.
Oh, this is like really close quarters.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
It's okay. I'm sure if everything goes wrong, I'm sure this building is flammable.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Erickson's just like, okay, this is. I didn't realize I was gonna get this far. That's exactly what. That's it. He's just. I'm more astonished. I'm more shocked at the fact that I'm inside somebody's house
Yep.
without them knowing I'm here. So
I'm happy to. I'm joyous to share this first B&E experience with you.
yeah, you know. So
I can just imagine Andreas like sitting there at the cracked door, just looking at him like, my
Yeah,
boys,
did you just pop? Yeah, it's like, did you just pop your criminal cherry?
my boys all grown up.
I mean, criminal. I mean, you're talking about B and E. Like
I know,
I've killed people. So you know,
You've
crim-
unlocked, but you've unlocked a new crime category.
there
Yeah,
you go.
there you go.
Yeah, there's a little achievement unlocked over my head as I walk in. So,
Street
so
level.
yeah. Okay, so I want to go ahead. I don't. What else do I see besides the curtain? There's nothing else. Obviously, the light has been turned off, so I imagine this person. I'm assuming that this light's being turned off and they're shuffling to the back. So I imagine this person's going to sleep. Is what I'm thinking.
That would be a good summation.
That'd be a good
Yeah,
summation.
the only other thing you can see is that there is a little uh there's a little door that looks to be like half the size of a closet door, that is slightly ajar, and you can see what looks to be a toilet beyond it.
The bathroom.
So yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you. I'm trying to look around if there's any crosses.
There are none.
That is also very odd.
Yeah. Even the book that he was reading is not a Bible.
It would be sinful.
Yeah.
Oh, what is the book that he's reading?
Let me make sure that
Yeah.
it was produced.
No, but that you're gonna say what is it? Mein Kampf. I'll be like, oh, that's it. This is
That's
it.
it. That's
Werewolves.
it.
Werewolves. We're starting.
Yeah, no. He's reading Cujo
He's reading Cujo.
Even worse.
by Stephen King.
Okay. I mean, as a player, I nod him for his choice in author. But
Also, it's the early '80s, dude. Stephen King he's king right now.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, high on peyote. So let me see. You know what? Why not? I'm gonna go a little bit more dangerous. So I'm gonna walk around to see and try to actually go through anything in this place. If there's any paperwork, if there's any no, obviously things are not as I'm talking to you. Things are not adding up to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, like there's a couple cabinets over the where the hand sink is and the hot plate. But that just has like a couple of plates, couple of bowls, couple of mugs, couple of glasses, a little plastic tray for what looks to be silverware, but it's just a pair of everything, a pair of spoons, a pair of forks, a pair of knives. Uh, it looks like it's just meant for two people to live here.
for 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and look into because the only thing, obviously, everything is in close proximity to each other.
Yeah,
Literally, I'm in the living
yeah,
room / kitchen
yeah,
/ dining room.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It's tiny,
yeah.
and you have the door to what I believe is the bathroom because I see the toilet.
Yeah, there's like a folded
Um,
television table, just behind the recliner.
I mean, if I'm already in here,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look and peek through the curtain.
yeah. You see that there's maybe a 2 foot, 3 foot, quote unquote hallway between the every room and the bedroom, but there is a small bed, a small twin bed, a small nightstand, and a dresser that take up the entirety of the space of the room.
And obviously, I think I see somebody, what looks like a figure inside the bed.
Yep, yep. There's an old man, just kind of setting himself up on his left side, facing the wall.
I take a big sigh and I go, and I say, and I think to myself, I go, yeah, this is a big letdown. So I'm just gonna turn around and slowly walk out.
Okay. Is
And
he gonna bump into Andreas?
Probably just as he gets past the door.
Okay.
I mean, well, not physically bump into me, but yeah, it's So is the old dude still alive?
You just hear that next to you as you come out.
Mhm. Hold on.
Oh, looks like something's happening.
sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Okay.
No
Repeat that. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Just as soon as you get out, as soon as you get back out the door, just hear, is the old guy still alive?
This is exactly what I do.
You are jumpy for a K-Knight.
Still young.
That's true. Whippersnappers. All right, so I fill him in on the looks of the inside of the church. Like, looks like everything's been shoved off to the side. Even the big Jesus on the cross has been taken down and kind of just tilted off against one of the walls. It's like, doesn't look like it's in service to anything right now.
Okay.
And the only one was it the door in the back where you said the rectory was, Will.
Yep.
That's the one spot I couldn't see.
Yep.
So if we want to try and just break in real quick and check that out, we can, or see if this place actually does have a basement.
Yeah. Everything. It's from what I can tell. This is just what more than likely either the groundskeeper or janitor or custodian for this place. Uh,
Cool.
that stays on property. So he's turning in for the night, from what I can tell.
All right, so we'll be quick and quiet. We'll leave him alone.
Yep. Oh well, you can. I'm gonna try.
Okay, well, I'll take point.
Yeah.
All right.
You're gonna go in through the
Following his
back.
lead.
Yeah, head back over to the church.
Mhm.
Try the double doors.
They are locked.
Does it look like a lock I can pick or one I'd have to break?
It looks like you can pick it.
Let me give it a shot.
Okay. So we're gonna do dexterity and larceny.
2 and 2.
4 dice, 2 of which
Yep.
are hunger.
It's a good
All
thing you know
right.
how to do this because I have shit all on that.
Yeah. 5 and 7 on the hunger and 6s on the regulars.
Okay. You pull out your little little pocketbook of picks, and you start to sit there. And after a moment, you hear the clicking noise, and Erickson sees one of the doors just start to kind of creak open.
Entrez-vous?
Oh, that's right, because he's still invisible.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yes, that's right.
And as long as I'm making small, subtle movements, I stay invincible.
Yep.
Okay.
And soft
So
noises.
the door creaks open?
Yep.
All right, I wait a few seconds before I walk in.
Okay. So he's letting Andreas go in first.
Yep.
Zoe?
Yeah, no, I said I was taking point.
Okay. You come in. You see what looks to be a kind of green room of sorts. There's a couch. There's a couple of empty decanters of where you imagine the wine would be put in for the day. You can see there's a box of what looks to be the Christ checks.
Mm-hmm.
Christ checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wafers, the
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, the wafers, yeah.
Yeah, the Jesus. And the door looks to be slightly ajar that leads into the church itself. So you won't need to worry about that. And as you push that open, you hear another soft creak as the door opens. The smell of musty wood and must be concrete hits you as you come into the main area. And you can see that for sure they've gone through a lot of great pains to just not even lift the pews, but they just slid them. Like you can see all the slide marks from where they were sitting to where they are now.
Clearly, they don't even care to preserve these things.
I don't know. Mr. Martin would have had a field day with them.
Yeah. We got the same PTSD.
Yeah. But you can see that there's even no rope in the steeple. There's no bell up there.
Is there still a cross and all that other stuff in there?
In the steeple, no, but on top of it, yeah, there's still the cross outside.
Okay.
And the one inside was taken down off the wall and was like
Yeah.
over in a corner.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just making sure I can walk in without having an issue.
Yeah, the second you walk in and you see the cross on the side, that will be an issue.
No.
But you can walk into the green room with no problem.
I'll warn him where it is too.
Yeah. So
It's like, I want to avert your gaze over there.
it's a big problem
Oh
when
wait,
you can't
right.
see.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I can't gesture. Okay.
Where over
we're
there
we're
is-
doing coordinates. So yeah, I'd say yeah, whatever. 2:00, 10:00 on the as you're coming in, don't look over there. Right, because I have to have a moment where I'm like gesturing, like, right, can't see me.
Yeah. But yeah, the front doors are also locked. The windows are all intact. It just looks like they've shifted everything over to the left side of the building as you're coming in from the main entrance.
Mhm.
It's just everything is on the side of where the rectory is.
Okay.
And-
So,
Mhm.
well, I was gonna say, I was like, let me see. Let me go check out the door by the back of the rectory.
Yep.
The evil priest is.
It is locked.
Does this look pickable?
It looks pickable, but the second you try to put one of your picks in, it's a false lock.
False lock. Okay. Shit.
As I'm looking around and we see, as I'm trying to get to
Not look at the cross.
look at the cross.
Yeah.
Do I notice any footsteps besides ours
Like
that were left on the floor?
Footprints?
Footprints? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Whatever happened here happened a while ago.
Okay.
Okay, let me checking around the door. Like it's so clearly it has a locking mechanism, but the what I'm trying to even pick doesn't. It's a dummy.
Yeah.
Okay. And does it look like anything else around the area triggers it, or triggers anything?
Give me a wits and investigation roll.
All right.
Ooh,
I was gonna.
Ooh.
I haven't heard that. We've heard wits, but not investigation.
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of that.
Yeah. Melvin
Hey,
does.
look at that. Yeah.
Melvin does.
What cracks me up is like you keep bringing these things up, but I always was like I got like one dot next. I know I was going to need it at some.
Sometimes you don't know what you need, but you know you need it.
Yep. So that's 5 dice, 2 hungers. All right, 8 and 2 for the hungers, and then 2, 7, and 1. So I didn't really get much. I got like 2 successes.
Okay. You're looking around, and you notice that Erickson has his back to where the cross is, and he's just kind of like looking at the floor, looking around, trying to see something. And as you're investigating the area, it looks like there has to be some kind of switch that definitely opens this door. Like it's not something that you would need a key for, but if you wanted to keep appearances up, you would have to make it somewhere near the door.
Yeah, so like you don't have to like walk 10 steps away, open up the Batman statue switch, hit the red button, and then
Yeah.
walk back.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. Anything looks off around there? Maybe some fresh. You said there's a bunch. The whole place is under construction, so
Yeah.
does anything look a little off?
The door frame itself looks to be stylized and have stylized engravings of like angels and cherubs. And they all seem to be looking at each other, except for one pair.
Okay.
They're about 4.5 feet off the ground,
hmm
and they're the only ones that are not looking at each other. They're looking away from each other.
Okay. I obviously don't know where Andreas is
Yeah.
still. So
Mm.
I
Uh,
I yeah. So
I, I was gonna get around to as of like, hey, take a look at this.
yeah, because I'm about to go to the door myself, try to figure
Well,
because
at that point, he will run into me. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like one just like I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna feel a shoe hit my ass. I'm sitting there trying to like look at the fucking carvings.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a look at this.
well, actually I look around and I go, I I think, and I go to the knob of the door and I try to do the same thing I did in the other at this guy's house to the efficiency and try to turn it.
The rectory doesn't turn. It feels like a false doorknob.
Okay.
All right, tell
And
you what. I'm gonna willfully reappear.
Okay. Next to him.
Yeah, just melting out of the dark.
Yeah.
what?
You just see the shadows melt out of his whole like presence. Like his whole outline becomes visible. All of a sudden, it's just the shadows just pull away like watercolor being doused.
Ah, okay. Do, what do you make of this? And I'm trying to turn the knob and I'm trying to use more and more of my strength to turn it.
Yeah, I grab his hand gently. I make it that it's locked. I think I think it's the setup over here. I show him the angel carvings. Be like, if this is, I already tried picking this a minute ago. It's a false lock. Nonetheless,
Okay.
the door works. It is locked. If you're going to do something, we need a switch nearby. And out of this entire beautiful, I hope angels are not a problem for you.
I don't believe so.
Okay, cool. Then
I look at them. I'm like, they're pretty ugly, but I'm
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, but if I hang a wooden Jesus cross in front of you, it's a whole different story. I'm wondering where
Correct.
I'm wondering where the iconography ends. So
Correct.
if angels are fine, angels are fine. But look at these two over here. All the rest of them looking at each other. Everything's these two. These are the ones.
Okay. Um, I go up to the ones that are obviously not facing in the same direction.
Yep.
And I check to see if any of them, if I can turn them.
Just press them into the wall.
Doesn't feel like they're out enough of a relief to be turned.
Okay, can I press onto them?
You can. Their heads will depress
Okay,
Both of them.
both of them.
at the same time.
Sure.
Ooh. All right, make an intelligence and athletics check for me.
Oh no.
Both of us?
Just whoever's gonna do it.
Oh, I'm the one that's doing it.
If one of you is gonna try
Are we
to.
both hitting one of them?
Sure, we could do it like in Terminator 2 where you have to turn the keys at the same time. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
All right, so each of you, yeah, intelligence and athletics to coordinate.
Okay. Intelligence, my greatest weakness.
Oh yes, you found
You
me.
said intelligence what?
And athletics.
1 on the hunger.
Ooh.
9 and 8 and a 4.
Okay, so 2 successes.
Okay. 2 and 10 on the hunger, and then 10 and 1.
Okay. Normally
So
that's
2 successes, but 2 good successes.
yeah. I mean it's 4 successes. And normally it's a bestial critical, but there's no way to justify that in this scenario.
Yeah, you're like,
Ah! So yeah,
pushing this button rouses the blood in your body.
Yeah.
Mine? No. I got it for the hunger die. I got a 10 and a 2.
Yeah.
No.
And then a 10 and a 1 on my regular die.
Yeah.
Right, it would have been a messy critical.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh.
so you two put your fingers or whatever on top of the angel heads. You kind of look at each other, and there's a moment where it looks like Andreas is already starting to push his head in, and you see Erickson just kind of shuffle, just kind of hurriedly push his in, and you hear the clicking noise, and the door very slightly moves, but it's maybe like a finger width. It sounds like a heavy door.
Cool. Secret tunnel. Just
Yeah. So does one of us have to be holding these things down if they're going to keep opening it?
well, I mean, it looks like the door's already open.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay.
All right. Fuck it. Let's slip through.
All right. Well, it's a heavy door,
Yeah.
so I'll open it.
Okay. Yeah, you see that it does take you kind of pulling on your potence a little bit to push this door open. And inside,
Interesting.
you see what looks to be the semblance of what would have been a rectory. You can see the kind of closet where the vestments would have gone, but the doors are completely open. There's nothing inside. It looks like you could have sat down with the priest here to talk at some point, but the chair has been turned over. There's another door that's labeled basement, but it also has police tape on it.
What is with these guys and the fucking police tape?
And how the hell did they get police tape in here? That's just keep. Did they know about the secret? Because okay.
All right. Well, let's continue. We've gone this far down this rabbit hole. Let's go into the basement.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we're already here.
Yeah. You open the door and you see that there's just this what looks to be an angled descent of where you would imagine a stairway is, but there's just a concrete floor.
Like it's like flat, like a ramp.
No, like the roof is ramped down so that it allows you to go down, but it comes to a point where it's just triangular because the floor has been concreted over.
Wait, someone filled in the basement with concrete kind of shit?
Yep, looks like it.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, that's if that's not a sign from the DM universe telling it don't go in there.
Yeah. Well, I want to look around at least. Is there anything in this place that seems out of touch besides obviously the cemented in floor?
I mean, the stained glass window in here is the depiction of Lucifer being cast down to hell.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
There's a lot of
Um,
reds, yellows, and oranges. But otherwise, no, it just looks like they packed up and left.
so yeah, there's nothing there. There was nothing left over. It just looks empty.
Yeah.
God damn it!
They don't all pan out.
All right, I guess we'll set it on fire and go.
Send a message to who? I don't know.
I don't know, but we're sending it to them.
Everybody gets this message.
Everybody.
All right, no, I think for once we can not start some shit.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So, at this point,
We'll conversations at Elysium tomorrow.
yeah, we're just gonna head out then.
Okay. So the rest of the night goes by uneventfully. You have followed the trail of breadcrumbs and found no bread. So the next day is November 1st, 1984. It is the Day of the Dead. Elysium isn't until after 11. So by the time 11 comes around, I'll assume that you have gone hunting and brought yourselves back to Hunger 1, because I am generous.
I'm a generous storyteller.
But you guys make your way to the Deepwood Museum and Gardens in your new Buick.
Mhm.
Okay. When you get there, you see that the museum is beautiful. It's an amazing scenario. It looks old, colonial. Excuse me. There's a topiary garden off to the side. You can see that there's large banners thanking the Xiaolong group for their donation of or loan of Chinese artifacts. There's a whole kind of display that has been written up about the Shang dynasty of China's history, and even in the gardens themselves, you can see that some of the cultivated bushes have been trimmed to resemble like pandas or tigers or typical Chinese animals and creatures. There's even one long uh winding dragon, like a Chinese long dragon. Uh, but you can see that there's people you recognize from your time here in the city. You can see Prince Hyde is already there. The Bruja Primogen, Ashley McGinty's there. Julian Poole, the Nosferatu Primogen, is there. All the Primogen are already gathered, including Tommy Shepard, who is the Gangrel Primogen. You can see Harvey Green hanging out. He's got his whips by his side. You can see that Leslie Thatcher and Tulip are hanging around.
Where's Willow? Is Willow there?
Willow is there, yeah. She's there.
Yeah.
JJ's there.
That bitch.
Antoine Malcolm Davies is there.
Mm-hmm.
Gretel Meyer is there.
Otis?
Otis is not there.
Mm.
But you do notice that Melvin is kind of off to the side. Looks like he's got a lot on his mind. The Ventrue that came into the city are there. You can see Marcus and his childer are there. The gentleman who one could say got Albert Frost killed is there, the Ministry member. You see a couple of people you don't recognize, and off to the side you can see Lydia Frost, Albert's daughter, and her sire are there.
Okay.
Your sire is there.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Mine's still fucked off out of
Yeah.
town for now,
Yeah,
right?
yours is gone.
Awesome. I don't answer to nobody.
But there are two new faces that you've never seen before. One is hideous beyond recognition. It's got a flattened front. The nose is kind of curled up and stretched. The ears have become pointed and very large. He looks more bat than human. And the other one, complete opposite spectrum. It is very beautiful. Like she is 5'8", long brunette hair, soft green eyes, very traditionally built body, very Hellenesque. But around midnight, everything's brought to order. The big thing that the sheriff kind of gets around to, because there's so many people here, is that he's going to hear the announcement of two new members to the city. He calls up Neville Markinson, and you see the man bat kind of step forward, declares himself Nosferatu, child of Annabelle Lincoln, who was recently lost to the beckoning and has decided to make his way west in the world. Prince asks if anyone will vouch for him, and you notice that Samuel Hunter and the ministry member Bahadur Ibn Abbasi both vouch for him.
Oh, okay.
The prince kind of nods and tells him to look at to talk to the sheriff, so he finds out the rules of the city. And then Abigail Banner is brought up, and this is the pretty girl. She claims to be the childer of Dimitri Castus von Geyer, a Simitsi from the old world who, again, was an unfortunate victim of the beckoning. She is trying to make her own way in the world after inheriting her sire's fortune, and so she decided to come out here to see if there's any semblance of order on the western side of the United States. The prince asks if anybody will vouch for her, considering that she is a Simitsi, and Wesley Ian Gardner and Malcolm Antoine Davies both vouch for her.
Okay.
And there's a moment where you see people kind of like whispering to each other. After a moment, order is called out. The main topic is brought up, and you see 5 people are brought out in what looks to be dollies. All 5 of them are staked through the heart.
Lovely.
Oh.
Their eyes are open. Their faces are frozen in terror. But you can see that there's a woman who's brought out. Looks to be young-ish, maybe early 20s, late 20s. There's a gentleman that's brought out, a little older cat, maybe 40s. There's another woman that's brought out who looks to be in her early 30s. A gentleman brought out behind her who looks to be just weathered and haggard. There's just this unkempt beard and this wild mane of hair. And then there's a final female that's brought out who looks to be a little bit older, maybe early 50s, late 40s. little matronly looking woman. And the sheriff, Harvey, starts off by saying, as most of you have known or have heard, there has been an influx of Caitiff brought into the city because of, we'll say, nefarious dealings that Mr. Reynolds and Miss Guernsey were up to with some extra associates. And so these are the 5 that we have caught so far. As you know, only the prince has the right to give someone the ability to bring progeny into our world. And so all 5 of them were made without his consent, and as such are open to his interpretation of the law. And kind of steps forward. As you know, because they were made with the express purpose of being thrown at us to destroy us from within, I don't expect any leniency to be given to any of them. If any of you would like to say something now, while Mr. Thompson inspects them, we will hear any remarks from the gallery. And immediately you see Samantha stand up.
Yeah, I already know what she was gonna go for.
And she goes and stands behind the wild, unkempt gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I think this man would be of use to us. He believes that he was, embraced directly by Guernsey herself, and I think that it would behoove us to have someone with the disciplines that the Lasombra have at their disposal here in the city, and within access to one of any of us here at the tower. And Richard Stephen Thompson, that you recognize from The Vagabond, is inspecting them. You see that behind him, standing over his shoulder, is Tommy Shepard. He's got his claws out already. And they're just inspecting them, trying to see what's they have anything strange to them. And the sheriff just kind of like stands there for a moment, holds his hand out. Miss Crusher, I understand, and I believe that killing them all would be just not right. Devastating. As we are leaning closer and closer to war, I think that having some people to help out would be better than not having any at all. And he turns back around to the prince, and the prince just kind of smiles. Excuse me. He stands up. He goes, now, I understand, and I know that I'm expected to be an arbiter of the rules, and rules as written say that only I grant permission progeny. Only I can let you create more of us. It is a heavy weight that I have taken upon myself. It is a heavy weight that other princes have taken upon themselves. It is not something to be taken lightly. It's not just a gift to be thrown around willy-nilly. But if you are concerned about Lasombra in the city, Miss Crushing, allow me to introduce my newest primogen. He is a Lasombra, and he will be in charge of all the minor clans, the Caitiff and the clanless, the thin-blooded, any of the non-represented clans on my council will be handled by Mr. Konstantin Anton Ivanovich. And you see this gentleman walk up onto the dais, who's maybe like 6'2", 6'3", massive kind of shock of brown hair, very easily muscular body, just kind of like imagine if you took an amalgam of the best physical features of uh, Ivan Drago and Sylvester Stallone's Rocky at the height of Rocky 4. And this is what the man looks like.
Oh.
And he comes out and he nods at the prince very respectfully, and then he kind of turns towards everybody. Yes, I am Konstantin Ivanovich. I would be very honored to help out in whatever way I can. I am more than graciously honored by your princess, our princess, decision to give me this seat on his council, that I might help others, as I was helped into the city as well. Look forward to working with all of you who require my assistance. And you see a couple of the whips come over and bring a chair and add it to the dais. And the newest Primogen sits down with the rest of his crew. And there's audible shock and awe that spreads like wildfire. People are talking to each other, they're whispering, some people are just like outright confused by the situation. Nobody knows who this guy is. And after a moment, Thompson kind of looks up. Well, they all check out, Your Honor, my prince. None of them have any devious markings or traps of any kind. They all check out. And the prince just kind of stands there, looks at Samantha. Miss Crush and I wish things were different, but I have to uphold the law. And Mr. Shepard, if you will, destroy them for me, please. And let everyone see that we are not weak here at the tower. There will be no breaking of my rules while I am in charge.
I stand.
Uh-huh.
See if I can get an attention. So,
and Sheriff Green looks at you. Mr. Wood, you have something to say?
Yes. Erickson Wood. I am Childer. I am Childer to. Oh my God! I totally forgot her name.
Elizabeth Barrister.
Thank you very much. Because I am a jerk. Because I would call her Liz, and that's not her name.
Yeah, she's not sitting
It's not
there
her
or
full
anything.
name. Yeah, Elizabeth Barrister. I know my stake in this Elysium is not as vast as the group that is here now. But just like Sam, I would hope that there would be an alternative for at least one of them. And I stare and I look at the one that Sam that's been wanting to save.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, although destroying them is a show of power and strength, but I also think at least providing resources, as you said before, would provide. Well, having them as a resource would help gain an advantage for what is to come. And I take full responsibility on this one. I don't know why I said that. I just said,
I don't know why you said that either.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but I did.
I hid my Caitiff like a gentleman.
Oh, this Caitiff went out in the open, so
yeah. And you see the sheriff kind of look up at the prince, and the prince looks down at Thomas Shepard. The ruling stands, Mr. Shepard. Destroy them. And you just see him one by one just kind of bring his clawed hand up to their neck and just squeeze in and tear.
I look over at Sam and I give the look like I tried.
Sam looks like this is the first time she's been betrayed like this, and you can already see the machinations about her not believing what the tower stands for.
Oh, the tower is crumbling.
Mm-hmm. We need more anarchs.
Yeah, it just it looks so nice on our side all of a sudden.
Yeah, and you see after the fifth one has their throat ripped out, they're taken away, and for a moment you see Thomas Shepard, the gangrel primogen, just kind of like standing there looking down at his claws until the sheriff has to like come over and show him to his seat. And there's like a little nod, like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that." And he climbs up onto the dais and he sits down.
Resisting the urge to be like whistling like, "Come here, boy."
Uh, and you see the prince just kind of open his arms wide, and barely clothed people start to kind of dance their way into the Elysium. You can hear music playing, and he just calls out, "Now, to those of you that are faithful to the tower, and those of you that have been faithful to me above all else, I appreciate you. And as a show of my appreciation, please find yourself something you like. Feed to your heart's content. Don't worry about repercussions. They're going to be taken care of." And you can see outside the doors, you can see several of the members of the Sheriff County Police Department. And they just kind of reach in after the last kind of few people are brought in, and they close the doors.
I look over at Melvin
He's gone.
to see he's gone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He slipped out.
I look over. Well, my my sire. Well, you said my sire is there,
Yep.
so
Yeah, she's there.
I walk up to her and
Excuse me.
I walk up to her.
Yep.
And it's good to see you again.
She stands up. "It's good to see you, Mr. Wood. Did you fix your issue?"
I mean, there's still some mending to be done, but I take it you. I just wanted to get your take on the festivities that happened before all this, and as I'm looking out to the crowd of everybody what's going on.
Yeah. You can see that some people are already feeding on people.
Mm.
Others are kind of playing with their food. But she looks over at you. She's just like, "This, this is the decadence that the tower has been pushing. People like Prince Hyde are a dime a dozen, taking advantage of the power vacuum, living life like they used to back before the beckoning, like nothing happened. Welcome to America, Mr. Wood."
I take it that all of this theatrics up until this point, take it this was something that you may not have chosen as your first option to have.
This was definitely not my first option. I hate to say it, but I miss Geraldine.
I mean, is there anybody else around us, or is it just us talking?
It's just you right now, unless Andreas hovered over as well.
Honestly,
No.
I'm having the distaste of the evening anyway, so I might even be looking for an exit out of here already.
Okay.
Yeah. A reason why I ask is because I want to get real personal
Or
with Liz. Liz, you know this is all shit, right? I can't be the only one that thinks that this is gonna last much longer.
I mean, This is what it's like in Chicago. This is what it's like in New York. This is what it's like in London.
Yeah, and this is all just fine now until the literal shit hits the fan
Yeah.
because it's a where is Otis? Pray tell.
Oh, this is in Salem town. He's got a his I hate to use the term, but Manny has found a lead on who this plague doctor is. Now they're following it up.
Do you know where they went?
Not at all. Otis doesn't trust me yet.
As but you know how to get in contact with Otis.
Yeah.
Let Otis know that Eric the Red would love to meet up with his old friend again. Maybe
Right.
at the Albatross.
Oof, that'll be rough. I don't think Otis particularly wants to leave Salem town. You might have to travel to the Red Eye. Talk to him.
Hmm? Fair enough.
I'll put the word out. You got a time frame or just whenever he can fit you in?
I look around to see where Andres is. I imagine he's already 1 foot out of the door at this point.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, I mean, this like the sight of a public execution really kind of gets my goat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is not pleasant. It
Yeah,
is very
that's.
mindful of the internment camps.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know what? I'll find time. Hopefully tomorrow then.
Yeah.
How about we just say tomorrow evening?
All right, I'll see what he can do. Be aware that it might be a few nights.
Just know, uh, just let him know that I'll be coming in tomorrow evening. That I appreciate it, Liz. Thank you so much.
Sure. I'll warn him.
I look around. Obviously, Andres is no longer there. What else do I see? Obviously, is everybody partaking in this?
Oh no. People have left. Like certain people have stuck around. Uh Among them his Primogen Council has stuck around. Um
Mm-hmm.
even if they're not partaking, like some of them are distant. Harvey, the sheriff, is still around. Samantha left. The whips are still around. Leslie and Tulip are still around because they have to. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
some of the other people are just gone. Marcus and his chowder are gone. Uh, the ministry member is still there, partaking of all the shit.
Yeah, I figured they would. Yeah.
Albert Frost's daughter and her sire are gone.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to the sheriff.
Okay. He sees you come up and he kind of waves away one of the the young men who you believe happens to be his venture whip.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees you come up. He's like, "Mr. Wood, been some time."
Yeah, we've been in the thick of it,
I
so to
heard.
speak.
I heard.
I've heard you had to do with your own dealings as well.
I had to round up some Caitiff, so it's been rough. I still hear that there's maybe about another 5 or 6 left out in the open. So
Mm. Well, let me ask you this: how did you feel about this display that happened here?
I mean, it is what it is, Mr. Wood. Rules are rules.
Mm.
The
Mm.
traditions
And
stand for a reason.
yeah, and this is how it was before then too, with Geraldine.
Geraldine was more lenient. She saw things differently.
So you don't think that maybe she would have thought that there would have been strength in numbers
Maybe,
as opposed to just cutting the loss?
maybe, but Hyde is old world. Eventually, you have to show strength through power. That's what he does.
Okay. You have any leads on any more KT? Maybe I can help you out.
Uh, yeah. You know what? That'd be right neighborly of you. And he calls over Tulip, and Tulip sheepishly walks over. He's like, Tulip, what's the word on some of the KT we're looking for? Do you have anybody that we could put down with Mr. Wood's help? And she looks at you, and then she immediately looks down into her satchel, her little kind of messenger bag, and she starts rifling through it. And she pulls out a file folder. She goes, "This one, um, somebody noticed. I think it would, I think it would be right up his alley, given the situation." And he looks at the name and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, this would be. Here you go, Mr. Wood. Here's one for you to bring in if you can."
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you see that the annotations on the file folder tab just say free souls, and inside you just see pictures of August.
I don't want to give away what my feeling on all that is.
And the sheriff just kind of looks down. He's like, "You run around with the free souls guy, right? This should be easy for you."
Yeah, I mean, I'll see if I run into this person, and this seems like this person's new.
Yeah, I don't keep up with that biker gang, so any information you can bring is welcome.
Of course. In fact, I would love to get any more that you're looking for. I'm happy to put as much on my plate as possible, of course, to help out. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, one at a time, one at a time. We managed to round up these guys in a week, so I figured, who knows what'll happen by next week.
okay. Sheriff,
The wood.
I look over at Tulip. Tulip, you got a moment? I need to ask you about something.
She looks at the
Walk.
sheriff. She looks at the sheriff for a moment, and then she sighs. She's like, "Yeah, I guess."
Excellent.
She
Walk with me.
she walks next to you, but like a good arm's distance away.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm not the one that hurt. Trust me. Out of our first interaction,
Yeah,
I don't want to start any trouble, Tulip.
she's like, "I understand."
How do you feel about what's been going on here?
As far as there's a lot going on in the city right now, Mr. Wood.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that we're rounding up our own kind?
I mean, Prince has a point. He's the only one that's allowed to let us have chowder.
Mm. So you feel that same way then?
I mean, we don't know them. They could have been good people.
You think that having more resources, as they were saying before, uh, would help us in pretty much the coming war that's going to be happening, or you think just cutting these off at the
Uh,
beginning before we could even begin to try to work with them? I don't know. How do you? I just want to know if this is something that you truly feel needs to be done.
I just think that at, at worst case scenario, we've removed any resources that Mr. Reynolds might have used against us.
Tulip, if you got any more, yeah, as soon as I have any information on August, I pat the folder. I'll let you know.
Okay. I mean, that's information already.
Yeah.
We didn't know what his
And I
name
turn
was.
around. It doesn't say that. I thought he said it. He said August.
No, it said free souls.
Oh, well then
Yeah.
that was a mistake on my end. I thought I overheard him saying. I thought I
No.
overheard it saying
No.
August. Well, that's not what I want to say. That was a mistake, obviously, because
Yeah.
I thought. Then I go,
Yeah.
God damn it! I gotta somehow now. I'm gonna go ahead and use what is it? Impeccable Eyes.
Okay. You gonna try to lie your way out of this?
Yep.
What are you gonna try to?
Well, man, how could I word it?
Yeah.
Because that's a real that's a real unique name. If it was John,
It could
would
also
have
be the
been.
last time you saw him.
That is true.
Yep.
I mean, considering that the last time I saw a face like this was towards the end of summer. Let's just call him August for now.
All right. Go ahead and make a manipulation and subterfuge, and add your 1 die for your specialty.
Manipulation, subterfuge. Oh man, I got high manipulation. All right, I'm okay with that. 6. All right.
Well, 7. Remember.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You add one for your
So
specialty.
7 on the hunger. 10, 6, 5, 6, and then 1, 3, and then another 7.
Okay. She looks at you. She's like, I kind of like that name. Yeah, we'll call him August. That works.
Damn it. All right. And I nod and I
Yeah.
turn and walk away.
Yeah, and she goes back to the festivities.
I immediately, as I'm walking out, I want to find the new, not the Nosferatu. The Actually, where is that Nosferatu, the new one?
He's there. He's reveling in it.
And what about the other new recruit?
It looks like she drank and then walked off.
Okay, never mind. Walking out.
Okay.
Gonna see
So
if I can find Andreas.
yeah, I imagine you would link back up at the Buick.
I literally walk up to him and
Laid
I
across, I am laid across the hood of the car, smoking a fucking cigarette, just clearly in a funk.
yeah. Well, this shit's not getting any better. And then I slam, not slam, but I place the folder on his chest as I walk into the driver's seat of the car.
Okay.
Flip it up, take a look at it.
Yeah. Tab says
Oh, there.
free souls, and it's just pictures of August and in different situations.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to get him the fuck out of here.
Change his look, change his identity, change the city he's in. Just get the fuck out.
No,
Does he
we're
have hair? He's bald now.
yeah, no. Well, I mean, no, we're gonna have to ship them out one way or the other just to get them out of range. If they already know to look for my gang, it's not a question of changing his appearance. We're actually gonna have to get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's not only that, they know that you're with the free souls.
Well, yeah, I think the jacket gave it away.
Yeah. So this is something that we got to deal with and deal with soon. Yeah, man. Also, we're gonna meet Otis tomorrow. We got to get. I don't know how you feel about all of this, but this is starting to sound real. This is starting to sound really shitty to me.
This whole deal with the tower has been shitty to me from the get go. But we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that as we go.
Yeah. Well,
I need to start figuring out where the hell I'm going to send August to.
let's go link up with him then. Let's go link up with the rest of them then.
All right. And as you drive off, following the Elysium, it's maybe about 2 in the morning. I think this is a good spot to call it for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. I'd like to thank our special Rusty Tonics for rating into us. Thank you for that, sir. Please, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, continue to wear your masks, continue to wash your hands, continue to keep your distance. We're still not out of the woods yet. If you are of age and you can get vaccinated, please get vaccinated. That's the only way to really get ahead of this thing. As always, please understand that it is okay to not be okay. So we take mental health on the channel very seriously. If you feel like you need to reach out, there are some resources in our chat. If you're watching live, they'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. But mental health is part of our general health, and so they shouldn't be locked behind a stigma or a taboo wall of subject matter. Like, if you feel like you need help, just realize that there are resources out there that you can reach out and get the help that you need. If you're not in the United States, there's a link going up right now so you can get the help that you need in the areas that you're living in. And if you're a member, a family member, or a friend of somebody that's usually a strong personality or happy-go-lucky personality, please check in on them. You never know how far a simple hello or how are you text can definitely change the trajectory of somebody's life. So check in on your friends, check in on your friends and family, check in on yourself. Honestly, like, we need to be more honest with ourselves and just know that times are dark and we go through some dark shit sometimes. So, but there's resources out there to help us. Main thing, our channel will be dark tomorrow. Normally we have our Werewolf or Legend of the Five Rings game on Tuesday, but I will be running a mage game set in 1988 Miami over at McStabber Studios. So if you're not following them, please check them out. They are fantastic people. They are letting me run a mage game for the 3rd season in a row. I don't know how I managed to pull this off. But every Tuesday in March will be a mage game. The rest of the week, the channel will be dark, so I will not be back until next Friday, the 18th, where we get to see one of our members of this coterie, our Bruja, come back in a very different form for our Dungeons and Dragons game. So that should be really exciting for those of you. But check out every Tuesday, like I said, McStabber Studios. They're fantastic people. They do some great gaming over there, some tabletop role-playing games. They're fantastic people, worth the watch. But if anything, I will see you guys. When I see you, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a good night. Good night.